Okay, I hope you took that time to really write down what you're grateful for and what you intend in your day. It's just such an important part of our morning ascent. So thank you for participating with that. Okay, so today I'd like to talk about lead follow up. It was interesting. Yesterday and Monday, we had our first Everest sales system um, prospecting school. And so we did a lot of talk about prospecting, obviously. And then on the second day, we talked a lot about lead follow up. And in the very first day, we had 18 appointments made. We had 12 people attending. We had 18 appointments made. On day two, same amount of people. Actually, I think we had 11 people that day, and they made 35 appointments. Now, part of it is that they had momentum going. George came in and spoke with us as well, and he talked about how different it is from, warming up, being there all day, getting going, getting into the rhythm. And then the other part is we spent a good part of the day doing lead follow-up. So we know that that is part of the reason why we had, almost double the appointments in the same amount of time. So I want to talk today about lead follow-up, because we do know that about 85%, 70, 75, 80% of our business comes from lead follow-up. So you could write down 75 to 85%. It just depends on the skill of getting that appointment when you're talking to someone for the first time. It's just a fact. That's why we prospect 20, 30 appointments a day, because we know that we are going to have to talk to enough people so that we can, yes, get an appointment today, but then start to have a pipeline. And that's going to be probably 70, 75% of your business coming just from lead follow-up. Now, the first thing that you need to do when we're talking about leads is you need to decide what is your definition of a lead, meaning the time that they're going to do business with you. And we're going to talk about two different kinds of leads. We're going to talk about hot leads, and we're going to talk about future leads, because that's what happens. So what I want everybody to do in just a few seconds is decide what would be your definition of a hot lead. Is it someone that would buy or sell in the next 2 weeks, next 30 days, next 90 days? What is it? What is your hot lead? Meaning these are the people that you're going to call daily, weekly. Every time you talk to them, you're asking them, there's a property on the market. We need to go see it. Hey, more properties are coming on the market. There's more competition. Let's get you on the market to list before there's more competition. Okay. So decide, what is your definition? So someone in the chat box, tell me, what is your definition? And I need you to be able to, we're going to do a little back and forth on this. So tell me, one of you, give me an idea or more. Tell me, what have you decided in this few seconds? What is going to be your definition of a hot lead in the matter of how many days that they're going to buy or sell a home? Somebody help me out here. Anybody have a definition of what a lead will be for them moving forward? Nobody? Come on. Okay. A hot lead for me is anyone that is going to list within 14 days. That's from Jerry Scott. Thank you. Iris, 30 days. Okay. So since Fred Law was first, he said 30 days. Okay. So Fred, I'm going to play with you this morning. Okay. So Fred, you say that your definition of a hot lead is 30 days. So if I'm your lead and I tell you I'm not going to do anything till November, that's not 30 days. What will you do with me? Am I still a lead? So we're going to wait for Fred to participate. Because I really want you to define what that means. So he says, yes, stay in touch and set up a drip campaign. Okay, so we need to talk about that. So 30 days is his hot leads. If I'm anything over 30 days, he's going to stay in touch with me, and we're going to call those future leads. And he's going to stay in touch, and I'm going to talk about that, how often and what we should do and what that looks like. All right, so let's talk about the 30 days, 60 days. So Fred says 30 days. I want everybody here to define what is your lead. Tell somebody, share it with your broker manager, share it with your accountability partner, share it with your coach. Let them know what is your definition so you are held tight to that, because we're going to talk about why that's important. Okay, so let's just go through that. So when you have a hot lead, then, and it's 30 days. So if it's 30 days, what I'm going to tell you you should be doing is, if they tell you they want to do something in 30 days, you absolutely have to cut it in half. So if they say, don't call me till 30 days, I don't want to get started for 30 days, the very least you're going to do is 2 weeks. I would suggest calling them within the first week. I would say, hi, it's Judy. I know that you're waiting the 30 days and I'm calling early. I'm just calling to see if anything has changed or if you have any questions. Okay, because remember, if you're prospecting an expired, if you're prospecting a for sale by owner, or a just listed, just sold, other agents are doing that. So if they're your lead, they're probably somebody else's lead. So you don't want to wait too long because they will forget you. So you want to be in touch with them if they're a hot lead. Now, you don't have to be real aggressive every time you call them and say, when are we going to meet? When are we going to meet? What's better for you? It can be the acknowledgement. Hey, I know you said 30 days and it's only been 7. I'm just calling to make sure. Has anything changed? Nope, nothing's changed. Great. Do you have any questions? Fantastic. Let's keep in touch. Maybe give them a little update on the market. Okay, so with those 30-day people, you really want to make sure that you're talking to them more often than not, so that when the 30 days or sooner, because one of the things we talked about at prospecting school is sometimes people will tell you that they're going to do something in 30 days. We're not going to list for 30 days. And the next thing you do, you're driving down the street to check out their house and their house is on the market. That's because somebody else called them again before you did. So be sure that you're staying in touch with them so that you can be the one that when they're ready to pull the trigger, you're the one that's on the phone with them. Okay, so it's really important that you don't just let it linger. Now, we'll talk differently about the people that are the future leads, but the now leads that are for right this minute, that are going to do it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever your lead definition is, you need to be talking to them more often. So the first one could just be you're checking to see if anything changed. The second one could be that sorry, I wanted to grab a book. The second one could be that you're letting them know about a home that came on the market. You're going to let them know maybe something about one of the homes that sold. So start to act like you're already their agent, basically, right? So start giving them a weekly update. That way, you're not just calling to say, I want your listing, I want your listing, when can we meet, when can we meet? What you're doing is you're already acting as their agent. Now, I don't want you spending a lot of time and doing CMAs and all of that, right? It's really just the basics of, we've had a couple more homes that have come on the market, and the competition is getting a little bit stronger. We're seeing more homes come on the market and sell very quickly. Boy, we don't know how long this is going to last. Is there anything you can do to get on the market sooner? Okay, so make sure for that you just have little things to say, little things to tell them of value, so that they already look to you as if you are their agent. Okay, now if you guys get the Everest Sales System script book, on page 34, we have the lead follow-up script. Okay, and we want it to be very basic. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to role play with myself at the moment. Okay, so you would just say, hello, Mr. Smith. This is Judy with Century 21 Everest. How are you today? I'm calling to follow up with you. When we talked last, you said blank. Now I want to talk about that, because a lot of times leads will tell us, well, I need 30 days. I have to clean the house. I have to fix the roof. I have to do blank. So when you call them, I don't want you to ask them necessarily, how did that event go? So how is the cleanup going? Don't do that. I want you to acknowledge it, but I don't want you to ask how it's going, because if you ask them how it's going, what are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, it's going slow. It's taking longer than we thought. Then they're going to give you all the excuses, and it gives them a reason to push you off again. So if you say to them, I'm calling you back for a lead follow-up. You said you were working on getting, the roof fixed. I'd like to meet with you just to see how that went. Just do the assumption that it's done. I'd like to come over to see how that has come together and get you on the market. Just go right for the close. But if you ask them, how's it going? Then they're going to tell you a big story. You don't want the story. You want an appointment. Remember, the purpose of your call for a lead follow-up is to make an appointment. That's it. That's the only reason you're calling them. Now, you and I both know, or all of us know, that doesn't always happen that way. There could still be another delay. But if you're calling with the assumption that they are done with what they're supposed to do, it's that time. Now it's time for us to have an appointment. So I really want you to look at this script. It's very simple, and it will help you to avoid that pitfall of getting into conversations about the roof not being fixed, the house not being cleaned up, the buyer not doing whatever whatever the delay was. We don't want to get into that. We just want to assume they did what they were supposed to, and we're ready to meet with them. Okay. Now, some good things came up yesterday about when someone says that they have work to do on their house. Of course, people have work to do, especially in this market. Homes need to be, it's pretty scrutinized. So one of the things that you can do and say to them is, of course, you have work to do. A lot of people do. What I always suggest, and what sellers have found helpful, is to have me come over and help you decide which are the items that you will do to get your best return on investment, and which things you might have on your list that really aren't going to give you any money back. So let's go ahead and meet now, so I can help you with the fix up. And then we can discuss where you are on the market. And when the fix up is done, we can just readjust and get you on the market quickly. Okay. So with that is one way to get past an objection about having to fix up the house, because we really can be of value to them and letting them know what they should and what they shouldn't fix. Okay. Now, also with the lead, if they say they have to wait, another point that was brought up was, we're real estate agents. We're not there to look at the house like a buyer. We're there to see the house, help them get what needs to get done, get a value. So one of the things that I always coach on is to say something like, I understand that you want to fix up the house, and you said you need about 30 days for that, correct? And they say yes. So you say to them, fantastic, let's do this. Let's meet now. One, to see if I can help you decide what and what not to do. And then second, let's get everything in order so that if the fix up takes you 30 days, that when you call me, we're not then having to set an appointment. It's a couple days out. Then it may take a few days to a week, depending on what market you're in, right, to get you on the market. This market is moving so fast. I don't want you to go much past 30 days on missing the market. So let's meet now so I can help you, get a signature and get an agreement to work together, so that when you're ready, we don't have to do that. You can get right on the market day one. Okay. Because let's face it, right now, things are moving so fast. They shouldn't wait 30 days plus probably at least a week by the time you get out there and get everything on the market. So just have in your mind that there's ways to get over to a lead's house sooner, as long as it's a value to them. If you can show them it's a value, and the value is, look, you're waiting 30 days. Do you really want to wait another week or two to have it live on the MLS? That's value for them. Okay. And then reassure them, I'm not coming over to look at your house. One of the participants yesterday said, she says to people, look, I'm a mother. In my house, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a picture of my house so you can see what it looks like when I haven't prepared it. You don't need to prepare your house for me. I'm coming just to see the aesthetics. And then I will trust that you'll have it looking pretty when it's time to put it on the market. Okay. Guys, have fun with it. That's one of the things we talked about. We don't have to be so serious about everything that we're doing when we're talking to our leads, to our sellers, and things like that. Okay. All right. So that is what the things that I would suggest that you do with your hot leads. You're going to talk to them regularly. You're going to treat them as if they're already your client, give them quick little market updates as far as this house came on the market, this house went off the market, it sold for this, and things like that, so that they're just already thinking about it. Stop at their door. I know in California you can't do that, so my apologies to you guys, but here in Utah you could stop by their house, just introduce yourself and things like that. So, and once California, hopefully in the some near future, that's something that you can do. But with your leads, you want to be in touch so that they know who you are when you're calling. Okay. All right. So that's for the hot leads. Now let's talk about anybody beyond your definition. So if you're 30 days, if they're 32 and beyond, and you want to put them on your future lead list. Now you can do a couple things. In the group, we had a wide variety, people using CRMs. Some people have, Top Producer, some people have Wise Agent, some people are using Zap, some people are still using the old tickler file. If you guys know what that is, that's my favorite because I'm not very technological. So what you have to do is you have to figure out a way that you're going to keep track of your future leads and when you should call them. Okay. One of the things that was brought up, someone said to put them on in your SOI. Do not put them in your SOI. It will water down the people that you know. It will make you more reluctant to call as you're going through the list because you really won't know those people. So that you're going to keep it separate. You have your hot leads, you have your future leads, and you have your SOI. Three different lists. They need to be separate. So with that, you can have a future lead list. So if I'm somebody who's going to do something in November, Fred, I would want you calling me. First, I'd have you call me within the week because you need to recognize me. I need to have a quicker conversation. Send them a thank you note, call them within a week, and just say, again, hi, this is Judy from Century 21 Everest. I'm calling. I know that you're not doing anything till November. I get it. I just know that a lot of times people have questions. Has anything changed, or do you have any questions? Okay, ask them that. See what they have to say. Then it's an opportunity to say, great, well, I am, while you're getting yourself ready for November, who else do you know that might be looking to buy or sell real estate that I can help? And it's real important. This is one thing that I found that people were having a hard time. Everybody, it's natural for us to ask, do you know anybody? And when we ask, do you know anybody? It's really easy for people just to blow it off and just say no. But if you say, who do you know? It gives them a minute to think about it. They might think about it. Okay. And I want to say it was within my first year of real estate. I went to a seminar with a trainer in Michigan, and one of the way he said it was, and I love this one, he would say this: out of all of the people that you do know, who do you think would be the next to move? Maybe someone who just got married or divorced, a birth or a death, family growing, empty nesters. So what are the life circumstances where in your family you might know that someone might be the next to move? Because then you take away the knowing of it versus who do you think would be the next? They might have a niece that just got married. They might have a sister that their last child just left for college. So if you ask, who out of all the people you do know, who do you think would be the next to move? Okay, so you have that opportunity. So let me get back. So it's 1 week, you call them with a quick check-in. Any changes? Has anything changed? Do you have any questions? Then put them on monthly. You want to put them on a monthly call so that you're checking in with them. Again, you could just give them a quick little update. Hey, since it's been now 3-4 weeks, and since we've talked, there's been this many sales in your neighborhood. I'm excited for when November comes and we can make that happen. Has anything changed? That's all it is. Just a quick check-in. Hey, I just listed 123 Main Street. It's not in your neighborhood, but who do you know that might be a buyer for this property? See, now you're showing them, just like your plan of action says, that when you take a listing, you tell everybody about it. Tell them about it. They might know somebody. Hey, I know this isn't what you're looking for in your purchase, but like I told you when we met or over the phone, I call and let everybody know, right? That when I take a listing, I call everybody and tell them about it. So I have this new listing. Who do you know that might be a buyer for it? Okay, now you're giving them value. They're starting to see who you are as a real estate agent, and you separate yourself from the other people because everybody is only calling to find out, when can we meet? When can we get your house on the market? When can I have the listing? Okay, so just have really good things to call them about once a month. Now, Fred, you also said something about doing a drip campaign. I'm of this old school of drip campaigns. Everybody does that. In fact, I was listening to someone's call yesterday and they said, can I put you on my email and send you things? And they're like, no, I already have like 3 agents who are sending me stuff. They get too much stuff. So what I would suggest doing is drip it to yourself. So if you know that I'm your lead, and you want to make sure that I'm keeping up to date, what you can do is you can do it in your drip, have it come to your email. So then you call them or you email them directly. So it's not a drip. And you say, hey, you know, these homes came on the market. There were 10. I picked these 5 that look like the criteria that you were talking about. Or these are 10, there were 10 homes that came on the market around your home. These are the 5 that are the best comparables. I want to keep you up to date on the market. So that way it's not a drip every day. Once a week, maybe you send them a little summary of what you got as a drip. Now you're engaging with them versus it just going automatic. And all of those emails look the same, guys, because your lead is my lead. I'm putting them up in a drip campaign from Century 21. You're putting them up from the MLS. You're putting them up in a drip campaign from Century 21 and the MLS. Our emails, our drips look exactly the same. You have to stand out if you want to be the winner with the leads. So I know those drips are popular. So if you insist on doing them, do it, but also make sure when you get the notification about it that you're paying attention and you say, you know what? This one is something they need to know about. They need to know that I'm paying attention to what they're getting and I'm going to call them about it. Okay. So I'd like you guys to really consider taking a different look at how you do a drip campaign and stay in touch with them. Okay. Okay. Now, one of the things, and someone just said, yes, you had a note of a follow-up, is make sure that you do send notes. I think the old fashions right now, sending out a thank you note is so great. And if they're 6 months out, send them one maybe every couple months after you've talked to them. You can say, hey, thanks again for the conversation. I look forward to working with you in November. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you, and if anybody has questions about that, let me know about that. What I want to talk to you about now is what happens for those future leads, or frankly, even your hot leads. It's actually probably more for your hot leads. Has anybody here been ghosted by a seller or a buyer? You're talking to them, then all of a sudden, boop, they're gone, right? All of us. So I want to give you a little script on what you can say when someone ghosts you. So you're going to call them, you're calling, I wouldn't leave a message every time you call. They know you're calling, they have caller ID. Maybe leave a message every 3rd call. But if they're just not returning your call, you can say to them, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm calling, you know, I have you here on my list of buyers or sellers that were interested in doing something in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Before I take you off that list, because I don't want to push you into doing something you don't want to do. Before I take you off that list, please give me a call. Otherwise, I'll put you on a list that means you want to do something later. Have a great day. Bye. So we're telling them we're taking them off of our hot list. We don't have to call it our hot list, and we're putting them on our future lead list. You're going to start not calling them so often, because let's face it, guys, They might be dodging you. They might be ghosting you on purpose. They might be busy. They might have had a family tragedy. They may be on vacation and didn't tell you. They don't need to tell you. Although we found out yesterday, people tell us a lot of things that we don't need to know on those calls. But when someone ghosts you, don't start making up stories so that your mind is, why, you know, they're not calling me. They don't like me. Maybe what I said last time was too strong and now they don't want to talk to me. Stop making up those stories. What you want to do is you just want to be confident and be the leader to keep calling. And all you want to do then is leave that message. And I'm going to say it again. So you can call and say, hi, Mr. and Miss, this is a voicemail because they've ghosted you. So it's like the last voicemail before you put them on your future lead list. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I just want to check in. I have you on a list here. My notes say that you want to buy in the next 30 days and we keep missing each other. Sorry about that. Before I take you off this list, because I don't want to push you into doing something you're not ready to do. Before I take you off my list of people that want to do something now, hey, give me a call in the next couple days. Otherwise, I'll start calling you a little further out. Have a great day. Okay? And you can do a little variety of that. So if they say they don't have a voicemail set up, can we text? Yes. Absolutely. You could even send a letter. But what it does, it's a takeaway. People don't like things to be taken away, right? So that's one. It could also be that they're not ready and you'll know and you can stop calling them. And the other thing is they might just be busy and think, oh man, I really got to call her. I can't believe I haven't called her. We want to sell, we want to buy. We got caught up. So again, don't make things up in your head. People are busy. Some of it is going to be the stuff that you make up in your head, but it doesn't matter. That you don't need to worry about that. All you want to do is keep talking to people that want to do business with you, and you have to do it through strong lead follow-up. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any other questions in here. I don't think so. If there is any questions that I haven't been able to see, then I will go ahead and email that out to the group. But again, with lead follow-up, guys, remember, if this is going to be, let's just say 75% of your business, you have to dial in your system. Make it a system. If you need to come and talk with me, if you want to call me, again, your brokers, managers, we have so many resources here, and we all talk from the same system. So please know that we're here to help. Leads are your future. So I want to make sure that you have both lists. Don't mix them up with your SOI, but go out there, get them, and make sure you can convert them and make them your next client. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you today. All right, let's do some closing affirmations.